All right, let's talk about something. We're about to tear down one of the biggest myths in self-improvement, and we're going to replace it with a tool that's so powerful, it's literally forged in the toughest training on the planet.
Come on, we've all been there, right? Staring at a project, or dreading a workout, or just looking at the day ahead and asking ourselves this exact question. We're always hunting for that spark, that feeling that's finally going to get us up and moving. But what if that's the completely wrong question to be asking?
Bam, there it is. A direct hit on everything we thought we knew about getting things done. Those are the words of former Navy SEAL Commander Jocko Willink. And his whole argument is that waiting around for motivation, that's a surefire way to fail. So if motivation is basically useless, what in the world are we supposed to rely on?
To really get the answer, we have to go to a place that is specifically engineered to destroy motivation. I'm talking about Navy SEAL training. And this isn't just about being physically tough. It's a laboratory for your mind. I mean, just try to picture this. It's 3 in the morning. You are exhausted beyond anything you've ever felt. You've been freezing cold and soaking wet for hours. You finally get dragged onto the beach, and the order comes, get back in the water. There is not a single cell in your body that wants to do that.
So let's just put it on a scale, okay? 1 to 10. What's your motivation level to get back into that freezing ocean? It's not a 0. No way. It's like a -9. It's a deep, physical, primal scream inside you saying no. And yet, every single person who makes it through this training, they get back in the water anyway. How? How is that possible?
It happens with this simple, absolutely brutal loop. You get the order, you feel absolutely zero motivation. In fact, you feel the opposite of motivation. And then, this is the key, you just override the feeling. You dismiss it. It's not even part of the calculation. The action isn't a result of how you feel. It's the result of a decision. It's a disciplined response that completely bypasses your emotions. And see, that's the whole point of the training. It's designed to push you so far past your physical and mental limits that any shred of feeling like it is just gone. It's burned away. Because on a real mission, you can't afford to wait until you feel motivated. You need something way more reliable, something that shows up every single time, no matter what. And that one thing left standing is discipline. So how do we build this incredible tool in our own lives? Preferably without having to jump into a freezing ocean. Well, it all starts by understanding the chain of command that's already set up inside your own head. First, we got to be crystal clear on what discipline even is. It's not some rigid personality trait you're either born with or you're not. No, think of it as a tool. It's the mechanism you pull out to tell your feelings, your excuses, your hesitation to just sit down and be quiet, because the mission has already been decided.
Okay, here's the best way to think about this. Picture a general and a soldier living in your mind. The general is the strategic, long-term planner. That's the part of you that decides, we're going to work out today, or we know that donut is a terrible idea. Then you've got the soldier. The soldier is the one on the front lines who has to actually execute those orders, the one who has to physically put on the gym clothes or walk past the bakery.
And right here, this is the most important part. The whole system collapses the second the soldier starts negotiating with the general. When the soldier says, but I'm tired, or I just don't feel motivated, or the classic, let's just do it tomorrow. The entire goal is to train your inner soldier to follow the general's orders, instantly, no negotiation. That act, that obedience, that is self-discipline. Now, I know this might sound a little extreme, like we're talking about military command structures, but this exact same dynamic plays out in our own lives every single day. It's just on a much smaller, quieter battlefield. Just think about that for a second. We're not facing enemy fire or hypothermia. We are facing things that, in the grand scheme of things, are pretty trivial. And yet, we let them beat us all the time. And hey, we know these enemies, right? The alarm clock goes off, the general says, time to get up. But the soldier immediately starts negotiating with the pillow for just 5 more minutes. You walk past a box of donuts at work. The general knows it's a bad move, but the soldier gives in to that instant gratification. Every one of these is a tiny little failure of discipline. So the next time you're facing one of these little choices, I want you to remember the rule from the freezing water. The fact that you don't feel like it, that is totally irrelevant data. It has no place in the decision. Your feelings don't get a vote. The general already gave the order. The soldier just has to execute. Okay, so this all might sound a little restrictive, a little rigid. But here's the great paradox. The ultimate outcome of all this discipline isn't confinement. It's the one thing we all want more than anything else.
This right here, this is the whole game. It seems backwards, but it is a fundamental truth of life. Discipline equals freedom. And just think about it for a second. The discipline to work out every day gives you freedom from bad health. The discipline to manage your money gives you freedom from the stress and anxiety of debt. The discipline to study and learn a new skill gives you the freedom of having more choices in your career. See, every single act of discipline you do today is literally buying you more freedom tomorrow.
So what this all comes down to isn't about becoming some unfeeling robot. It's about taking back control. It's about realizing that motivation, well, it's a flaky friend who only shows up when things are easy. But discipline? That's the loyal soldier that's always by your side. So that leaves us with just one simple question to take with us into the rest of the day. What will your discipline set you free from?